The town of Farmington. Respecting history, planning the future.
Good evening. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome you all tonight to the Farmington Town Council meeting. And the first the first item on our agenda is the Firefighter of the Year Award. Paul?
So I'd like to ask Frank Duncan to come up here. Hi, Frank. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So when I was first asked to give this proclamation tonight to Frank, everyone thought it'd be a good idea if I brought my son CJ to watch because he's such a big fan of all of our firefighters in town. And anyone who works at Tunx's Hose knows every single time we go to Stop and Shop or George's Pizza, we have to stop by and see the firefighters and see the fire trucks. It's made me realize, it's cute that the kids adore it, but at the same time, somewhere along the way as we become adults, we start to, we go from idolizing first responders and firefighters and start idolizing sports figures and other athletes. And, we go in and him and his younger brother Luke literally will look at firefighters like they're Tom Brady and LeBron James. So he's going to want a picture with you probably. That's why he's trying. But in any event, I took some, before I get into Frank here, just to all the first responders here, thank you. You guys are the backbone of our community in Farmington. We take a lot of pride in our services and low mill rate, and that wouldn't be possible without countless hours of volunteer effort. So quick round of applause for everybody here. And now to Frank specifically. So Frank, I reached out to some of your colleagues to talk about, what you're about, what you've accomplished. And, the proclamation will cover countless accolades that you've received. But the one word that everyone that came to mind was dedication. I kept hearing it, dedication and everything that's accomplished. So in that regards, thank you individually for your efforts. And without further ado, we'll get to all the accolades that I was mentioning. Whereas Frank Duncan has served the town of Farmington as a volunteer firefighter for over 2 years at the East Farmington Volunteer Fire Department, joining in January of 2017, and whereas Frank Duncan, during his 2 years with the East Farmington Volunteer Fire Department, has already accomplished many training certifications, including Firefighter 1, Firefighter 2, Q driving endorsement, pump operator, and emergency medical technician certification. And whereas Frank Duncan has taken on numerous responsibilities to include overseeing the personal protection equipment, communications equipment, and most recently being elected to the rank of lieutenant. And whereas Frank Duncan has achieved many notable recognitions to include 2017 Rookie Firefighter of the Year, 2018 East Farmington Volunteer Fire Department Firefighter of the Year, and recently recognized as 2019 Town of Farmington Fire Department Firefighter of the Year. And whereas Frank Duncan has made significant and lasting contributions in multiple ways that have fostered the well-being of the citizens of the town of Farmington, and whereas Frank Duncan has maintained a focus on the public good and acted to protect the public interest while donating countless hours of time, energy, and personal commitment to better our community and enrich the lives of residents of the town of Farmington. Now, therefore, the Farmington Town Council hereby commends Frank Duncan on his excellent work on behalf of the community, and we congratulate him on his 2019 Firefighter of the Year Award, The Farmington Town Council hereby proclaims November 12th, 2019 as Frank Duncan Day in Farmington, Connecticut, dated at Farmington, Connecticut, this 12th day of November, 2019. Nancy W. Nickerson, Chair, Farmington Town Council.
Sorry, thank you. Next to Mr. Duncan, okay?
And don't not forget this hat as well.
Thank you.
Frank, if you would. Frank, we have one more proclamation for you. I'm sorry. Mike DAmico, our representative.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll be brief. I wanted to offer my congratulations to Frank as well, and I brought greetings from the legislature. So I don't think you'll mind, Frank. It's from the state of Connecticut, General Assembly official citation introduced by Representative Mike DAmico, Representative Tammy Exum, Senator Derek Slapp, and Senator Gennaro Bizzarro. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly offers its sincerest congratulations to Frank Duncan in recognition of your selection as the Firefighter of the Year for 2019. Over the course of your service from Firefighter 1 to your current rank of Lieutenant, the residents, businesses, and institutions of Farmington have benefited from your selfless and heroic actions in promoting safety and protecting lives and property. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success. And this was dated last month because you were supposed to receive it last month. We won't tell anybody. So 12th day of November, 2019 at the state capitol, and it's signed by the President of the State Senate, Martin Looney, the Speaker of the House, Joe Arasimowicz, and Denise Merrill, Secretary of the State. So congratulations, Frank, and thank you.
Okay. Thank you and congratulations, Frank.
It's not Mike.
Good evening. I have the honor tonight of presenting one of two Eagle Scout proclamations. Every time I have the pleasure of hearing an Eagle Scout proclamation here about the projects, the Girl Scout Gold Awards, I am baffled and surprised at the amount of energy and effort and time that these young students put into their projects. It's incredible, and every accolade is well deserved. So tonight I am presenting the Eagle Scout Proclamation for Colin Coyle. He is a sophomore at E.C. Goodwin Technical High School, where he's in the Precision Machine Shop, and he received the Excellence Award in 2019, and he's made high honors every year, every semester in high school. In addition to his Eagle Scout accomplishments, Colin can be proud of many other things that he has done. He is apparently an avid outdoors person, having taken several outdoor trips, including a bicycle trip to Cape Cod, climbing Mount Monadnock, and a Boy Scout snorkeling award. He received the Journey to Excellence Award, and he is also active in his church, St. Mary Star of the Sea. For his Eagle Scout project, Colin redesigned the gearbox in police cruisers to make it easier and more efficient for officers to access their necessary equipment. And before I read the proclamation, Colin, if you want to come up. Whereas the Scouts BSA help train the youth of our community with skills which serve them well in the future. And whereas many of our youth participate in activities of the Scouts BSA which benefit our community. And whereas one of the crowning achievements of Boy Scouting is the attainment of the rank of Eagle Scout. And whereas Colin William Coyle from Troop 170 Scouts BSA recently completed the requirements for Eagle Scout. And whereas Colin William Coyle's project involved the retrofitting of 14 Farmington police cruiser storage boxes. The modifications included the designing of shelves so that safety and patrol equipment would be easily accessible. And whereas Colin William Coyle also worked diligently installing and securing each divider and shelf, as well as designing a special separate compartment for the spike strip. And whereas Colin William Coyle has demonstrated leadership as part of Troop 170 Scouts and serving as an altar server for St. Mary's Star of the Sea Church. And whereas Colin William Coyle attends E.C. Goodwin Technical High School in New Britain and is in the precision machining shop learning the machinist trade and was designated Freshman Student of the Month in March of 2019. And whereas, as a result of Colin William Coyle's work, the lives of people of Farmington will be enriched and enhanced. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on behalf of the Farmington Town Council, we hereby extend Colin William Coyle our best wishes, and we hereby proclaim December 11th, 2019 as Colin William Coyle Day in Farmington, Connecticut. Dated at Farmington, Connecticut, this 10th day of December, 2019, signed Nancy Nickerson, Chair, Farmington Town Council. And if the officers would like to come up, or mom and dad would like to come up for a picture.
This his brother?
It just looked awkward. Maybe you guys should go stay so that we don't pick them up. No, right now. You have a proclamation.
A lot of proclamations. Wait, so we're rereading on it right now? It's on camera. It's got to be on camera.
That's right. We'll do a picture. Well, okay. You know what? Real briefly, I just wanted to just congratulate Colin as well on behalf of the legislature. And I have a nice proclamation. I don't want to prolong the meeting unless you want me to read it. I'm happy to.
Read it.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
These are important
Okay. All right.
reasons we're here as a council.
No, you have a lot of important work, but thank you. I appreciate that.
This is very important.
Okay. All right. So, Colin, again, thank you on behalf of myself and my colleagues in the legislature. So, State of Connecticut official citation introduced by Representative DAmico, Representative Exum, Senator Slapp, Senator Bizzarro. Be it hereby known to all the Connecticut General Assembly offers its sincerest congratulations to Colin Coyle in recognition of your elevation to the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest achievement in scouting. You can be proud of your accomplishments and the good work you have done for your community. The personal qualities that have enabled you to meet this goal will serve you well in your future endeavors. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success. Given on this 10th day of December 2019 at the State Capitol, and it's signed by Martin Looney, President of the Senate, Joe Arasimowicz, Speaker of the House, and Denise Merrill, Secretary of the State. So, Colin, thank you, and congratulations. All right.
We should have had it with Patty, too. Patty should go, and then they can have one. Patty, do you want to join them for the picture? Hold on a minute. Patty's going to come back over. Yes, so you have everybody. Hold on. Go ahead, Beth.
Good evening, everyone. And it is my honor to present a proclamation in recognition of Tristan Pelletier, who's recently completed his requirements for Eagle Scout. And as has been previously said, and we say every time, most of us know the level of dedication, hard work, and long hours that go into this achievement. It's just remarkable. And I think it's also worth noting that the tremendous level of support that a Scout gets from his or her family is tremendous as well. It's a big part of the process. So I think for me, one significant benefit to living in a community for a number of years, raising a family here, is seeing kind of the peer group of your own children as they grow up and they develop talents and explore their different interests and kind of find their way and they're becoming young adults. So Tristan may not know this, but I first met him and his family when he attended preschool with my oldest son. And so this occasion is particularly meaningful for me. You are all getting older and just getting ready to, you're doing great things and getting ready to do more. Tristan received his idea for his Eagle Scout project after he helped another Scout complete his Eagle project at Westerly Elderly Housing in Unionville. So it was at that point that Tristan took the opportunity to ask at Westerly if they had any other projects that they need or would like done. And I've worked for nonprofits and I know the need is great. The repair of garden beds was one of the many projects on their list, so that was what Tristan decided to do. But not only replacing the garden beds and working on that, but in ensuring that they were handicapped accessible and making them all handicapped accessible. So that's a big advantage there and something that's going to serve the residents there very well. Tristan has also played on his varsity soccer team since his freshman year at E.C. Goodwin Technical High School, where he's studying the plumbing trade. And he does hiking and enjoys the outdoors. And he's also been nominated for the National Honor Society. So you're a very busy, hardworking student as well. And if you want to come up, I'll do the official reading of the proclamation. So whereas the Scouts BSA helps train the youth of our community with skills which serve them well in the future, and whereas many of our youth participate in activities of the Scouts BSA which benefit our community, and whereas one of the crowning achievements of Scouting is the attainment of the rank of Eagle Scout, and whereas Tristan Pelletier from Troop 170, Scouts BSA, recently completed the requirements for Eagle Scout, and whereas Tristan Pelletier's Eagle Scout project was to create handicapped accessible gardens for the residents of Westerly Elderly Housing of Unionville, a senior low-income housing apartment subsidized by the federal government, and whereas Tristan Pelletier, through the help of many volunteers, constructed and installed 4 raised garden beds at Westerly. The beds were accessible by wheelchair and standing participants. The project included leveling the ground and installing footings prior to the construction and installation of the beds. And whereas Tristan Pelletier has demonstrated leadership by partaking in Scout outdoor adventure events, summiting Mount Katahdin in Maine and playing on his school's varsity soccer team. And whereas, as a result of Tristan Pelletier's work, the lives of the people of Farmington will be enriched and enhanced. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on behalf of the Farmington Town Council, we hereby extend to Tristan Pelletier our best wishes, and we hereby proclaim December 12th, 2019 as Tristan Pelletier Day in Farmington, Connecticut, dated at Farmington, Connecticut, this 10th day of December, 2019. Nancy Nickerson, Chair, Farmington Town Council.
Mike?
Your groups, big and small, whatever you
Usually we're finally figuring it out. Okay, and we gotta pick up in here.
I was going to say, just start over.
Oh,
And Mr. DAmico will read his proclamation now, and before he does, I just want to take a moment while he's coming up to the mic. You're going to read your proclamation. I just want to take a moment to say that we have a lot of work that we do as a council, which includes budgets and all kinds of things with roads and and other things. One of the most important things we do is recognize people like yourselves, young men and young women that come before us with scouts and a lot of other honors that come before us as a council. But it's wonderful to be able to recognize you and have the community see this, because we are on TV and they see what wonderful young people we have. And I have the honor of having, my son was an Eagle Scout a number of years ago. He's a little older, but I know how much work it takes for each and every one of you as a scout, and also the dedication of your parents. I mean, it takes a lot of work for families, but you really see it through, you and your troop and the people that work with you, the people in your troop 170. So I just want to commend you too on from the community as a whole, that it's really hard work, and we couldn't be prouder of the young men and women that come before us. Thank you.
Well said, Madam Chair. Thank you. Well said. And I make you this promise. This is the last one I'll do this year. Okay? This year. So with that, Tristan, congratulations, and thank you for all of your dedicated service to Farmington, as the chair mentioned. So from the state of Connecticut, General Assembly official citation introduced by Representative DAmico, Representative Exum, Senator Slapp, Senator Bizzarro. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly offers its sincerest congratulations to Tristan Pelletier in recognition of your elevation to the rank of Eagle Scout, the highest achievement in scouting. You can be proud of your accomplishments and the good work that you have done for your community. The personal qualities which have enabled you to meet this goal will serve you well in your future endeavors. The entire membership extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success, given on this 10th day of December 2019 at the state capitol, signed by Martin Looney, President of the Senate, Joe Arasimowicz, Speaker of the House, and Denise Merrill, Secretary of the State. Thank you for your service, and congratulations, Tristan.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Next, we have the proclamations. Edward. I think they have Beth has the other two.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming out. I have the honor of reading the Town Council proclamations for my 3 Democratic Council colleagues. On a personal note, I just want to say how much I've enjoyed working with all of them, and that I'll miss them, their insights and our collaborations to do what's best for the town. We were truly a great team, and each of them brought a valuable set of skills and thoughtful perspectives to public service. As the proclamations outline, they've worked hard to better the life of our town citizens, and the town itself has greatly benefited from their excellent service. So without further ado, first I'll have Patty come up. I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Patricia Boy Williams has served on the town council as a member from 2018 through 2020, and whereas Patricia Boy Williams served the town of Farmington as chair of the Green Efforts Committee, where she spearheaded a waste reduction education campaign, the Simple Recycling Program, and initiated a town-wide newsletter dedicated to green efforts. And whereas Patricia Boy Williams served as chair of the Land Acquisition Committee, where she has preserved valuable open space for the town of Farmington. And whereas Patricia Boy Williams has prioritized transparency through increasing the resources that the town staff have available to them in order to ensure clear communication with the residents. And whereas Patricia Boy Williams has always maintained a focus on the public good and acted to protect the public interest over private interests, while donating countless hours of time, energy, and personal commitment to better our community and enrich the lives of our residents of the town of Farmington. Now, therefore, the Farmington Town Council hereby commends Council Member Patricia Boy Williams for her excellent work on behalf of the community, and we hereby thank her for her selfless dedication and immeasurable contributions and commitment to the town of Farmington and its residents. The Farmington Town Council hereby extends Patricia Boy Williams' best wishes on her future endeavors, dated this 10th day of December 2019 at Farmington, Connecticut. Nancy Nickerson, Chair, Farmington Town Council. Congratulations. We did the pictures at the 6 o'clock ceremony. That's why we're not taking pictures. So, and next up, I'll have Beth Kitner. And I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Beth Kitner has served on the town council as a member from 2018 through 2020, and whereas Beth Kitner served the town of Farmington as town council liaison to the Board of Education, the High School Building Committee, the Human Relations Commission, and the Housing Authority, and served as chair of the Farmington High School Survey Ad Hoc Subcommittee. Whereas Beth Kitner has been involved with the parent organizations of the Noel Wallace and Westwood Schools, the Irving A. Robbins Middle School Parent Advisory Council, and the Superintendent's Parent Leadership Forum. Whereas Beth Kitner served as president and co-president of Farmington Future, an organization that advocated for Farmington's schools and town services and encouraged residents to be active and engaged in the town's issues. And whereas Beth Kitner will continue her public service to the town of Farmington as a member of the Farmington Board of Education, and whereas Beth Kitner has always maintained a focus on the public good and acted to protect the public interest over private interests while donating countless hours of time, energy, and personal commitment to better our community and enrich the lives of the residents of the town of Farmington. Now, therefore, the Farmington Town Council hereby commends Council Member Beth Kitner for her excellent work on behalf of the community, and we hereby thank her for her selfless dedication and immeasurable contributions and commitment to the town of Farmington and its residents. The Farmington Town Council hereby extends Beth Kitner best wishes on her future endeavors. Dated this 10th day of December 2019 at Farmington, Connecticut, Nancy Nickerson, Chair, Farmington Town Council. Congratulations, Beth. And next we'll have Bruce Charette come up. He took the shortcut. I'll read the proclamation. Whereas Bruce A. Charette has served on the Farmington Town Council as a member and acting vice chair from 2018 through 2020. And whereas Bruce A. Charette served the town of Farmington as chair of the Retirement Board Committee, as chair of the Farmington Village Center Committee, and as a member of the FHS Facility and Financial Ad Hoc Committee. And whereas Bruce A. Charette served as the Town of Farmington liaison to the Town Planning and Zoning Commission and the Farmington Historic District Commission. And whereas prior to his tenure, Bruce A. Charette was appointed as an alternate to the Farmington Historic District Commission, elected as an alternate to the Town Planning and Zoning Commission, and appointed to the Capital Region Council of Governments. And whereas through all his public service to the town of Farmington, and particularly his work on the town council, Bruce A. Charette sought to set policy based on data review and to maintain the character of Farmington, ensuring that its historic charm is preserved and that the town remain accessible to all through initiatives such as the development and approval of the Farmington Village Center Streetscape Master Plan that includes an extensive sidewalk project for the Farmington Village Center. And whereas Bruce A. Charette has always maintained a focus on the public good and acted to protect the public interest over private interests while donating countless hours of time, energy, and personal commitment to better our community and enrich the lives of the residents of the town of Farmington. Now, therefore, the Farmington Town Council hereby commends Town Council Vice Chair Bruce A. Charette for his excellent work on behalf of the community, and we hereby thank him for his selfless dedication and immeasurable contributions and commitment to the town of Farmington and its residents. The Farmington Town Council hereby extends Bruce A. Charette best wishes on his future endeavors. Dated this 10th day of December, 2019 at Farmington, Connecticut, Nancy Nickerson, Chair, Farmington Town Council. Congratulations, Bruce.
I just have to say a few words to my fellow council members. First of all, 2 years went by very, very fast. When I look at everyone up there on the council, I didn't know a single soul. I moved to town 5.5 years ago, and I got actively involved, and this was the best involvement that I ever had. I've absolutely have to say, every single person up on this dais I consider a friend. I learned a lot from Nancy and everyone else on this council. A couple of things I like to just point out. CJ and I won't compete against a parking space. Every time we would pull in here, whoever got the first parking space, we would like battle over that. And then Beth Kitner, you know, I sit next to her for the last 2 years, and sometimes that microphone would just move a little bit. And I just thought someone had some type of powers over there. But and then Patty, you know, Patty always had that legal thought process and always kept us on track a lot of times in our meetings and made sure that we would say things correctly. Edward, you know, definitely you've been a good friend, learned a lot from you as well. I think just your work ethics, knowing that you work a full-time job and trying to get here for every single meeting, it's tough. Paul, you too. I mean, you work very hard, you got a young family, and I see you running in and out a lot to get into these meetings on time. So, and then Paula, I can't forget about you over there. You know, you're another person that really kept us on track. And Kathy, you know, I was always amazed, and I don't know, I think a lot of people probably know this. You know, every 2 years, Kathy has to deal with a new group of people, and that's tough. A lot of different personalities, and I know I was one of them. So I really appreciate your dedication to the town and the work that you've been doing. And, you know, everyone on here played a role, but you held us all together and made sure that we did what we needed to do right. So thank you, and for the rest of the staff as well. I really appreciate it. I know I'll see you guys around. And thank you for the last 2 years. You guys made a wonderful experience for me. Thank you.
I have the privilege tonight of giving Paul Ciancia his proclamation. Paul, do you want to come down? Paul is an engineer, and his profession was he was very helpful with his expertise and his experience with the Farmington High School Building Committee this year, with the committees prior to the actual building committee where he was a liaison. But he was invaluable in bringing forward a competitive bid process that he's very familiar with in his construction business, and I think that was something that really has spurred on this building committee and will serve us well in the future. He was also chair of the audit committee, and you'll hear about some other things as I read his proclamation. But I just want to thank Paul for his dedication and his commitment to town. As Bruce mentioned, coming in and out with a young family, it's not easy, and the hours and time that was put in and dedication is really amazing and wonderful. Thank you. The proclamation, Paul. Whereas Paul Ciancia has served on the town council as a member from 2018 to 2020, and whereas Paul Ciancia served the town of Farmington as town council liaison to the Water Pollution Control Authority and liaison to the Farmington High School Building Committee, and whereas Paul Ciancia served the town of Farmington as the chair of the Audit Ad Hoc Committee and as a member of the Stephen A. Fliss Scholarship Fund Committee, the Land Acquisition Committee, and the Farmington High School Facility and Financial Ad Hoc Committee. And whereas Paul Ciancia has prioritized infrastructure improvement by finding creative methods to analyze and fund major capital projects and was instrumental in the development of the new competitive process of the Farmington High School building project. And whereas Paul Ciancia has always maintained a focus on the public good and acted to protect the public interest over private interests, while donating countless hours of time, energy, and personal commitment to better our community and enrich the lives of the residents of the town of Farmington. Now, therefore, the Farmington Town Council hereby commends Council Member Paul Ciancia for his excellent work on behalf of the community, and we hereby thank him for his selfless dedication and immeasurable contributions and commitment to the town of Farmington and its residents. The Farmington Town Council hereby extends Paul Ciancia best wishes on his future endeavors, dated this 10th day of December 2019 at Farmington, Connecticut. Nancy Nickerson, Farmington Council Town Chair.
So I'll be quick. There's not much I can say at this point that you guys haven't already said, but you guys said it well. I mean, I'm very proud to be part of this group of 7 up here. I feel now, 2 years into this, I can call any one of the 6 of you, talk about something related to council, talk about something unrelated to the council. And I'm proud of that, proud of what we accomplished this year, the last 2 years, and wish everyone up here the best of luck with their current and future endeavors, both in government and outside of government. So thank you for that. As far as town hall goes, we have a great crew here, both Kathys and both their teams. Everyone I've worked with in various capacities, one thing is in common. Everyone takes pride not only in their jobs, but being a part of the team in Farmington. And, something but until you see it firsthand, you really realize how lucky we are as a town. So thank you guys. not going to leave out my family who has left and was here, but this is on camera, which is great because they'll all see this. But my parents and my mother and father-in-law who couldn't make it tonight because they were watching my other son. But yeah, it's been fun doing this with a young family, but it couldn't be done without a village of support. So to my two parents and two in-laws, thank you. My wife, Angela, who was here as well. It's not easy being the spouse of a town council member with soon-to-be 3 young kids. But thank you very much for allowing me to pursue this. And I'll be home a lot more next year. So in that regard, thank you, everyone.
Don't go too far there, Nancy. I have the distinct pleasure of offering the proclamation to an icon of Farmington, Nancy Nickerson. Nancy has been doing this for so long that this is actually a farewell tour for Nancy. We had a major event for her, we had a dinner, so this is capping off the farewell tour. I started on the council with Nancy 10 years ago. I left the council for 4 years. She's still here. I had to come back to retire her. So thank you. No, Nancy's been great. Nancy's done so much for the town. We have had a tremendous staff looking up at the podium. Kathy was here. Paula was here. Erica was here. So we have a great consistency in staff, and we have some great additions as well. So the town does a great job, but we've had a great leader this past 10 years now. Nancy, so with no further ado, I shall read the proclamation to Nancy Nickerson. Whereas Nancy W. Nickerson is a lifelong Farmington resident who has dedicated herself to the betterment of her community through decades of public service, which extends to all facets of Farmington life, including working for those in need, for both the youth and the elderly population, and for the preservation of the town's natural landscape. And whereas Nancy W. Nickerson volunteered countless hours to effect positive outcomes for Farmington in an elected, appointed, and volunteer capacity for over 29 years of service, and whereas Nancy W. Nickerson proved her tireless commitment to high-quality public education through her 16 years of steadfast service as a Farmington Board of Education member, which she led the board for 10 years as its chairperson. Nancy's leadership contributed to unprecedented student achievement and school enrollment growth, which resulted in 2 major Farmington High School additions and renovation projects, as well as the construction of Westwood's Upper Elementary School. And whereas Nancy W. Nickerson has spent the last 10 years serving the community at large as a member of the Farmington Town Council, and again serving as its chair for 3 terms, during her tenure and leadership on the Town Council, Farmington has achieved and maintained the highest recognitions for financial management and stability. Capital infrastructure investment has grown substantially, including a $57 million upgrade to the Water Pollution Control Authority and $11 million for townwide road construction. The business community has expanded, especially the biotech and medical office space sector in and around the University of Connecticut Health Center. Public-private partnerships flourishing, including the construction of the live fire training facility and the addition of the turf fields for Farmington athletic programs. Acres of land have forever been preserved under the Farmington Land Acquisition Program, and the 20-plus year Farmington Rails to Trails project was completed. And whereas Nancy W. Nickerson continued her civic engagement as a volunteer and supporter of town organizations such as Farmington Services for the Elderly, Farmington Historic Society, Farmington Food Pantry, Farmington Land Trust, Friends of Farmington Library, and the Farmington Village Green and Library Association. And now, therefore, the Farmington Town Council hereby commends Town Council Chair Nancy W. Nickerson for her tremendous work on behalf of the community, and we hereby thank her for her selfless dedication and immeasurable contributions and commitment to the town of Farmington and its residents. The Farmington Town Council hereby extends Nancy W. Nickerson best wishes on her new endeavors, dated this 14th day of November 2019 at Farmington, Connecticut, the entire Farmington Town Council.
Oh, goodness. I just want to take this opportunity to thank a number of people. One, the things that you just heard about being accomplished were done by many, many, many people. Many people on councils, many people on boards of education. I'm so proud to have worked with so many wonderful people through the years and gotten to know so many people over the years. Whether it was during running for election, walking door to door, whether it was getting involved in different civic organizations, whether it was sitting on boards and councils and the Board of Education, and working with the people that are deeply involved through the staff in both places. It takes all of us working very hard. And it's the elected officials, it's the people that work in these buildings, it's the volunteers. And we are so fortunate in Farmington to have such a large number of people that step up and volunteer. Here you are tonight with Eagle Scouts. I mean, you know what it's all about. And it's so many people. You look at this council, the 7 people sitting here, or 6 people sitting here, that have volunteered their time and efforts and their expertise and volunteer just to help one another and help the community. It's just amazing. And I couldn't be prouder of Farmington, of our town. I'm humbled by the number of people that have given so much, and really it takes so many, and there's so many in Farmington that do this, and that's why we're such a great town. That's why when I go to meetings outside with other towns, they're so they look at Farmington, and so many times have looked at Farmington to see how we're doing things, and have done them in the ways Farmington does them, because we have such a great result. But the thing that so many can't compare to is our volunteers in these communities. I just can't thank everyone enough for allowing me to have these years in this town that I love. And it's going to move forward in very good hands with all of you, and I know all of you are going to be involved for many years to come here in Farmington, and I'm not going away. I'm just not going to be here, but I'll be around in other volunteer opportunities, I hope. So, but thank you all very much. Thank you to the citizens of Farmington for allowing me to be here for all these years. So, thank you. Going to read your proclamation. Tonight I have a very great pleasure in recognizing Kathy Blonsky. Kathy is our town manager and has been here for 25 years and a silver anniversary. So tonight she gives and has many proclamations for people during the years, and we are going to be presenting Kathy with a proclamation. And I'm out and about in many community. I have been over the year in regional groups, in state groups, and Kathy is somebody that people know and listen to and look to for our town. She's somebody that is very well respected among the state. She's had, as Bruce said very well, she has many councils come and go, and yet here we are, and we're a great town, and everybody works together and collaborates. So without any further ado, the proclamation really says it. Whereas Kathy A. Blonsky was hired on January 3rd, 1994 as assistant to the town manager and was subsequently promoted to assistant town manager and served as the interim town manager from October 6, 2000 until being appointed to town manager on April 18, 2001. And whereas Kathleen A. Blonsky, throughout her 25-year tenure, has always upheld the highest professional standards for herself, her staff, and the town of Farmington. And whereas Kathleen A. Blonsky works collaboratively with her staff, seeks out professional development opportunities, and offers valuable guidance and mentoring, resulting in a stable, high-performing municipal workforce. And whereas Kathy A. Blonsky's strengths include her ability to be nimble, adaptive, and work effectively with all town elected officials, volunteers, residents, and staff for the betterment of the community. And whereas Kathleen A. Blonsky has prioritized investing in public infrastructure through responsible planning and investment in town buildings, roads, recreation complexes, and other public facilities, resulting in but not limited to the construction of the community, senior center, police department, Westwood's Upper Elementary School, water patrol, pollution control facility upgrade, live fire training facility, completion of the Rails to Trail system in Farmington. And whereas Kathleen A. Blonsky has maintained best practices in public financial management, making Farmington an economic leader in the Hartford region, resulting in achieving and maintaining a AAA Moody's bond rating, while consistently retaining the lowest mill rate in the Farmington Valley. And whereas Kathleen A. Blonsky has embraced 21st century technology and has adopted the latest technological tools to keep Farmington innovative and enabling residents access to town records and applications, while recognizing and honoring the importance of Farmington's rich and stable history. And whereas Kathleen A. Blonsky has been a leader in the community, working with local, state, and regional agencies and departments to obtain grants, accomplish state projects, and seek due recognition for the town of Farmington. And now, therefore, the town council hereby commends Kathleen A. Blonsky for excellent work on behalf of the community, extend best wishes for continued success as town manager, and we hereby thank her for her 25 years of selfless dedication and immeasurable contributions and commitment to the town of Farmington and its residents. Nancy Nickerson, Chair of the Farmington Town Council.
I just want to say thank you, and I can't believe how fast 25 years went, and I couldn't do it without just great elected officials, great town council members, and employees, my staff, and the residents here in the town of Farmington. So thanks.
Back to our agenda. New items, none. Public comments. If there is anyone that would like to address the council, please come up to the podium and state your name and address.
Nobody?
Okay.
Jay? You talk about the Eagles.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Night now. Reading of the minutes.
I move to approve the November 12, 2019 regular town council meeting minutes.
Second?
Any corrections? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Communications? None. Report of the committees? Yukon? No report. Land acquisition?
Yes, I'm pleased to report that after over 2 years, because it predates my time on the committee, 8732 River Road, it's a 4.1 acre parcel, has closing scheduled. Last I heard, it was scheduled to close tomorrow. So hopefully that's still on track. The next meeting of the committee is this Thursday, 5 p.m. in the planning conference room.
Thank you. Green efforts.
Green efforts. Everyone should have received the second newsletter for the committee right before Thanksgiving. And the big news is everyone got in their mailboxes. Simple Recycling started this week. The pink bags, you can put all your textiles in for recycling. Everyone should have gotten a postcard. Every time they pick up your pink bags, they will drop off 2 for every one that they pick up. So if you leave 2 out, you should get 4 bags. And remember that it follows your recycling day. So that's when it will be picked up. The next meeting of Green Efforts is actually a unique meeting. It's going to be December 18th at IAR. We are working, it'll be at 12:30. We're working with Chartwells and getting a tour of the cafeteria and food service and trying to figure out ways to work with the schools in order to reduce waste in our school systems.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
And the letter's great.
Thank you.
If I could, the driving through town this morning and today, I did see a great number of those pink bags out. So clearly, some people are following through and putting the bags out. I'm waiting to see how many new bags I get because we seem to have filled both of ours up. So we'll see if we get 4 more when they pick those up. But it seems like it's a good start, certainly for the first day.
Thank you. Farmington Village Center Committee,
Nothing to report.
High School Building Committee.
Okay, so as usual, the high school building committee has been busy because we meet every week and we have subcommittees, but I will try to pare it down. So the full committee has worked on developing matrices for evaluation criteria for the conceptual designs that are going to be presented next month. So this includes rating the various benefits of the design and then cost evaluation criteria. Looking at total project cost, state reimbursement, tax impact, capital expenditures that might be anticipated depending on the level of work in the project, and operational costs annually. And that's going to help us get to kind of determine a value of each of the design options. The communications subcommittee is very busy as well. You can find 5 short videos that cover the major areas of the summary of needs on the fhsbuildingproject.org website. Those topics are building sprawl, energy efficiency, ADA compliance, accreditation, and limits to educational programming. The committee is working on an updated video tour with a community volunteer and the high school AV department, so that'll be updated for this go-around. The building committee had an electronic newsletter that was sent out November 21st. And that, if you didn't catch that, the newsletter and more information about the process, of course, are on the website. Communications subcommittee meets again after the new year, January 10th at 9:15 in the Board of Education conference room in Town Hall. I think our biggest news is that the important building committee meetings coming up all are open to the public. They're January 8th, January 15th, and the 22nd, all at 6:30 in the high school library. And that's when the 2 architectural firms will present their conceptual designs, so early designs, for a maintain option, a renovation, and a new build. So January 8th will be the maintain option, the 15th will be the renovation option, and the 22nd, the new build option. Those designs will then come to the Town Council February 4th, 7 p.m. here in Council Chambers. And I just want to reiterate that the January meetings are especially important as a chance for members of the public to see the early design ideas. They can give us feedback. There's always public comment. And the next full building committee meeting is tomorrow, December 11th at 6:30 in the high school library. And I don't know if Paul has anything for financial subcommittee because I haven't been able to attend those.
Yeah, so the finance subcommittee meeting met, I think 2 weeks ago now. They came up with that cost matrix Beth was talking about. So the idea is we're going to have a benefits matrix and how each of the competitive designs meets this statement of needs, a cost matrix evaluating total cost, municipal cost, recurring costs, and it'll help give the committee a way to, when you overlap those 2 variables of benefit and cost, you know, how do we maximize value when you take both of those into account? And then we are going to be doing an orientation for all the newly elected officials who are going to be taking part in that process and transitioning. And I think as part of that, they're going to get brought up to speed on everything the committee's done to date this past year. And really this whole process, we had 2 ad hoc committees prior to this, the survey committee, the finance facility committee. Lots happened over the last 2 years, and really just bringing the new group up to speed as quickly as possible as part of that whole orientation process is, I think, in the works over the next couple weeks or maybe months. You know, I don't know when it is, but it's going to be happening.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. Report of the council chair and liaisons. Chair, my report is to say thank you to all of my council colleagues, CJ, Paul, Edward, Patty, and Beth, and Bruce, my vice chair. Thank you very much for these 2 years and the work we've done. And I really, a couple people made comments, we really didn't know each other, a lot of us, at the beginning of that 2 years. And I really am so pleased with the way we all came together, and we worked together to do great things for the town. So I want to thank each and every one of you for that, and the respect and the friendships that we've gained through these years. So thank you. I also want to make sure that I take a moment to thank Paula, our town clerk, who takes our minutes and keeps us, as we said, online, and lets us know when we should do things a different way, or we're doing them right. And thank you, Paula, for all you've done for us at every meeting. Erica, thank you for all of your help with the council and all the work. Kat and Joe, sitting in the back, thank you for all of your expertise in the financial pieces of this town and helping this council. You're just an invaluable person, and we know it when those budget time comes, and even during the year when there are times where we need information. You're always there and always ready to give us more, and we appreciate it, and thank you very much. And Kathy, to thank you for so many years. When I was on the Board of Education, you were here, and I didn't know you well then, and got to know you better, obviously, on the council. And I want to thank you for all you've done for the town of Farmington, but personally to thank you for helping me out when I first came on the council to get up to speed with so many things. And thank you for your friendship as well. It's really been a great time on the council. I've enjoyed it very much. And thank you all. So, and certainly the citizens. Thank you all. Board of Ed.
Yep, so the Board of Education met on November 18th at Westwood School and December 9th at Irving A. Robbins. Last night, student Leah Glassby was recognized for receiving the 2019 Irving Robbins Middle School's Farmington Valley Superintendent's Student Award. So we got to hear from her and from her teachers and the administration about what a great job she's doing as a student and just a community member, and already doing lots of volunteering and organizing. So that was a nice thing during their meeting last night. And then also last night, outgoing board members, Chris Fagan, Mark Bloor, and Michelle Hamilton were recognized with proclamations. Not as many as ours tonight, but definitely recognizing those people and thanking them for their service. They talked about the enrollment project report that came out. So the external long-term 10-year projections done by Peter Prouda, that's been completed. It looks like overall the district is trending to have about 225 additional students in the 10 years, taking us up to 2029. I can't even, doesn't seem right. So from where we are now in 2019. And I think I mentioned last meeting, the internal reports that they did, or the projections, show that East Farms is definitely trending high for enrollment. And so we learned that that's definitely a long-term trend as well. So the board's going to be looking at options for short and long-term solutions in the coming months to address that. So we can probably, or the council can probably expect to see increased requests for staffing to accommodate the increased enrollment. It's quite significant over at East Farms. The district is going to be updating its vision of the graduate. The process is going to include parents, teachers, students, and administrators. So that's about 10 years old now and is getting a reboot. The next BOE meeting is Monday, January 6th at 7 o'clock in the high school library.
Okay, thank you. Chamber.
No report.
Economic Development.
The EDC meeting in November, Farmington was recognized as a certified community utilizing best practices in economic development and land use by CEDAS during their annual meeting. Also, the town planner, DeVoe, gave a presentation on the highlights of the Midpoint Development District. The Midpoint Development District aligns with the POCD. It provides protection for the Farmington River and encompasses 3 properties. A motion was passed to issue a positive referral for the approval of the zoning text amendment for the Midpoint Development District. That's essentially changing a commercial zone to a mixed-use zone. And the next meeting for the EDC is scheduled for tomorrow, December 11th at 5:30 p.m. Here in the town hall, town council chambers.
Thank you. Farmington Historic District,
Oh, nothing to report.
Housing,
The Housing Authority's next meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, December 11th, 6:15 at Staples House.
Human Relations,
Human Relations Commission next meets on January 22nd, 6 p.m. at the Senior Community Center.
Library Board,
Nothing to report.
TPC,
Just the text amendment that Edward talked about, and that's it.
okay, thank you. Unionville Historic District,
Nothing to report.
UVIA,
Nothing to report.
Water Pollution Control Authority.
Nothing new to report.
Any other liaisons, groups? Report of the town manager.
You can see in your packet, we just have a small report, just Rose's email or memo about our beautifying Farmington, and you saw our kissing balls are up, which everyone really, I think they came out really great this year, so that's that. And then the only thing I just wanted to say is thank you to all the council members, the outgoing council members that, you know, last 2 years has been really, really busy, and you guys have done great things and worked really hard. And it's always hard when we have to transition to a new council person, people, but I want to thank you for your hard work and wish everyone the best of luck. And I hope people that aren't going to be on the council are going to still be volunteering their time. And we have lots of boards and commissions, and hopefully we can slot you in for some of them. And again, thank you for your support, and that's it. My report.
Okay. Appointments, a motion to approve the town manager's. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Motion to approve.
That's what we're talking about.
So move.
Keeps us in line.
Second.
Second.
Give it to Paul.
All, okay, we're giving it to Paul. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, appointments.
Just us?
Yep.
L1, I move that Sylvie Bennett be appointed to the Board of Education for the balance of a 4-year term beginning immediately and ending January 2022.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Great. L5.
Agenda item L5, I move that Jedwiga Gajklowski be appointed to the Farmington Valley Health District for a 3-year term beginning December 31st, 2019 and ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
Oh, if you wouldn't mind, Paul, if you would do the one above, that's me for the health district too.
Sure. I move that L4, agenda item L4, that Kathy Blonsky be appointed to the Farmington Valley Health District for a 3-year term beginning December 31st, 2019 and ending December 31st, 2022.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
N1.
I move to authorize the town manager to sign and grant an easement to the Eversource Energy to allow access to the property from Hamilton Way.
Second.
This is just a very small access easement, and it will provide an easier access point for inspection of Eversource's facilities that are located on the adjacent property on Hamilton Way. The easement will be paved and have a gate. The total easement area is approximately 300 square feet across open space property that the town acquired through a subdivision approval process. Eversource will be responsible for providing all the documents and the legal documents, and they'll maintain the improvements. And they're only expected to use this easement a couple of times a year, and it's much more convenient for us and for Eversource because they have to come in through the back way and they have to go up a hill, and it's really, this is just an easy access easement so they can get to their equipment.
Questions?
Just a quick question, Kathy.
Yeah.
That easement, and I didn't drive by there, is there going to have to be some cutting, and would they be responsible in cutting to get through there?
Yes, I don't think there's a lot of cutting, but they'll be responsible to make the easement.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? N2.
I move to schedule the regular town council meeting on January 30th and a regular town council meeting on February 4th of 2020 at 7 p.m. in the Farmington Town Hall Council Chambers.
Second.
These are for 2 additional council meetings after the first of the year. The first one is on January 30th, and that will be a workshop meeting to the goal of amending the town strategic plan. And then the meeting on February 4th will be a presentation from the Farmington High School Building Committee and for the town council to select a design option and recharge the committee with an overall project scope and a range of the net municipal cost.
Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, and 3.
I move to adopt the following resolution in support of Homeland Security Grant.
Second.
This is already a resolution that you've approved. The only difference is that the previous agreement is that the state of Connecticut renamed the division responsible for administering the grant to the state of Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection Division of Emergency Management and Homeland Security. So they've asked that we support the grant again with a new name.
Questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, and 4.
I move to adopt the following resolution in support of the U.S. Census 2020.
Second.
This is just a resolution in support of our census count, and in February, the Office of the Lieutenant Governor launched the Complete Count Committee to inform and direct Connecticut's efforts in the census. This major effort in advance of the 2020 census to ensure Connecticut will be most accurately counted state in the country.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? And 5.
I move to approve the following property tax refund totaling $44,690.64.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. We have no executive session? No. Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Yeah. Second.
Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?